You know that feeling, right? That burning, electric ache that starts creeping down your leg after a few hours at your desk? Well, if you do, this is for you. We are going to tackle that frustrating pain from desk job sciatica, but not with some huge life overhaul. Nope, we're going to do it with a smarter system you can literally start today. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling of being trapped. You're just trying to be productive, get your work done, and your body is sending you this painful invoice for every single hour you spend sitting still. It's infuriating, and if you're nodding along, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
But here is the good news. While that pain is absolutely real, the solution doesn't have to be complicated at all. So let's just throw out that idea of trying to hold some perfect, rigid posture for 8 hours straight. It's not going to happen. Instead, we're going to build a system of small, easy, repeatable changes that actually work.
Okay, so let's start with what I call the 8-hour pain paradox. It's that predictable, slow burn that kind of builds up through your workday. And I bet it's going to sound really, really familiar. This is the classic pattern. You start your day, you feel fine. Maybe the first hour or two is okay, but then a dull ache starts to smolder in your hip or your lower back. And by late afternoon, boom. It feels just like that faulty electrical cable, sending these sharp, zinging, irritating signals down your leg. And here's the key thing to get. It is so easy to blame your chair. And look, a good chair definitely helps, but it is not the only villain in this story. The real issue, the real problem, is just prolonged stillness. I mean, even the most expensive, tricked-out ergonomic chair in the world can't save an unmoving body from the effects of constant compression. And that brings us to the core idea of this whole approach. We have to reframe this thing. It's not a posture problem. It's not a willpower problem. It's a rhythm problem. So let's just bust this myth right here, right now. The goal is not to achieve some heroic, rigid posture that you can't possibly hold for more than 5 minutes. The truth, the actual secret, is just making regular pressure changes. See? It's all about movement, not about being perfectly still. And the secret weapon we're going to use is what I call a micro reset. All it is just a tiny, regular shift in the load on your body. Its entire job is to interrupt that nerve irritation loop before it even gets a chance to really get going. So seriously, if you've been beating yourself up for not sitting up straight enough, please just stop. This isn't some personal failure. Your body is simply telling you that the system, the rhythm of your day, is what's broken. So let's fix the system. Okay, so how does this actually build into a practical system? This is the how-to part, and we're starting with the single most powerful change you can make. This is your 2-minute micro break, and it is ridiculously simple. All you do is stand up, take 2 slow, deep breaths. Then you walk 10 gentle paces around your desk, to the water cooler, doesn't matter where. Then you sit back down, and you make sure your hips go all the way to the back of the chair. That's it. You've just reset the whole system. Now, to make this actually happen, here's your starting point. Set a repeating timer. Your phone, your computer, whatever. 50 minutes of focused work, followed by a 2-minute micro reset. The key is you don't wait for the pain to start. You move before it has a chance. So what does that actually look like in a normal workday? Well, it means you'll do about 9 of these little resets. That's it. Just 9 tiny interruptions spread throughout your day. And get this, when you add it all up, those 9 resets take a grand total of about 18 minutes. I mean, that's just brilliant, right? It shows the power of these small changes. Just 18 minutes of movement spread throughout your entire day to stop hours of pain in the evening. This quote just captures the experience perfectly. The first day you try this, it's going to feel almost, well, laughably small, like it's not doing anything. But you gotta stick with it. Because by the 3rd day, when you realize your afternoon isn't being ruined by that familiar ache, it feels like a rescue. It's all about consistency, not intensity. All right, so we've got our rhythm down. Now let's talk about the environment. Because a smart setup is going to support this whole micro reset system and give you that lasting relief. Forget all the fancy features. These are the boring but genius basics. You want to make sure your feet are flat on the floor or a footrest. Adjust your seat so your knees are about level with your hips. And this one is huge. Sit so your hips are fully supported by the back of the chair, not perched on the edge. A little recline helps too, takes a lot of pressure off. And here are 3 more quiet little fixes that have a massive impact. First, if your feet don't reach the floor, use a footrest or even just a thick book. This stabilizes your whole pelvis. For your back, a simple rolled-up towel is often way better than some aggressive lumbar gadget. And finally, get that monitor up to eye level so you stop doing that curious turtle lean forward, which pulls on everything down below. Ah, the big question, standing desks. Are they the magic bullet? Well, not necessarily. This chart can help you decide. If just improving your sitting and adding those breaks helps, you might not even need one. But if sitting is always a trigger for you, a sit-stand desk that lets you alternate can be an amazing tool. And that's the key word, alternate. The most realistic plan for most people is mixing both. Okay, before we wrap up, this is super important. This advice is for that common mechanical desk-related pain. So let's quickly run through some safety checks so you know when this is appropriate and when you really need to see a professional. So let's just ask the question directly. Is this advice right for you? I want you to take the next 60 seconds and run through this checklist. And be really honest with yourself. I'm going to pause here for just a second. Read these questions carefully. If you answer no to any of them, and I mean especially regarding new, major weakness, or any changes in bowel or bladder control, please treat that as a signal to contact your doctor or a physical therapist right away. This is about being safe, not overly cautious. Okay, so here's the best part. You can start this right now. In the next 15 minutes, you can do these 3 things. Adjust your chair so your feet are flat. Grab a book or something to use as a temporary footrest if you need it, and set that 50-20 timer for the rest of your workday. That's it. You're on your way. So let's end with this thought. What if you could get through your workday without that feeling of dread, without knowing you're going to pay for it with pain every single evening? By shifting your mindset from one of endurance to one of rhythm, you can take back control. An 8-hour day really doesn't have to feel like a trap.